السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. هنبدأ اليوم إن شاء الله. نبدأ مع بعض أول درس من دروس الجزء الثيري شابتر 1. طبعا احنا اتكلمنا في المرات اللي فاتت عن الجزء العملي البراكتيكال، وقلنا ان منهج الاي جي سي اس اي سي تي 3 papers. paper 1 40% الويتنج، وبيبر 2 30%، وبيبر 3 30%. يعني قلنا كمان ان البيبر 1 عليها السكور بتاع 100 ماركس، والبيبر 2 80 ماركس، والبيبر 3 80 ماركس. بيبر 1 هو السيلبس كله بتاع الاي جي سي اس اي سي تي 21 شابترز. طبعا ال 21 شابتر فيهم 10 شابترز ثيوري وحوالي 11 شابترز في البراكتيكال، لكن الامتحان بيكون شامل ال 21 شابترز كلهم. يعني امتحان بيبر 1 في ال 21 شابترز. هو طبعا بيبقى مقسم بنسبة معينة، يعني بيبقى فيه حوالي 90% للثيوري و10% للبراكتيكال. 5% بيكون من بيبر 2 و5% بيكون من بيبر 3. يعني احتمال كبير جدا في البيبر 1 يكون عندنا أجزاء من بيبر 2 أو أجزاء من بيبر 3. يعني يكون عندنا مثلا سؤال خاص بالمايكروسوفت وورد أو الأكسس، أو يكون عندنا سؤال خاص بالإكسل أو الفرونت في البيبر 1. فالبيبر 1 تعتبر مهم جدا جدا. واحنا النهارده هنبدأ الشابتر الأولاني، وده بيتكلم على الكمبيوتر سيستم. طبعا اي منهج بيكون الشابترز الاولاني بيكون انترودكشن، ويكون يعني بيديك جود ايديا عن السيلبس بتاعنا. فبرضه شابتر 1 في الاي سي تي هو يعتبر introductions about the computer system او الانفورميشن سيستم as general. يعني طيب المنهج بتاعنا هنتكلم عنه ان شاء الله من خلال النوتس بتاعتي انا او البوكلتس اللي انا عاملها كسمبليفايد للمنهج بتاع الاي جي سي اس اي سي تي. المنهج دوت طبعا كبير، الكتب بتاعت كامبريدج كبيره، فانا عملت له نوتس او سمبليفايد تعتبر يعني تبسيط للمنهج بتاع الاي سي تي بالنسبه للاي جي سي اس اي سي تي. هو طبعا في نفس الوقت ريفيجن جايد، وان شاء الله يعني تعجبكم وتكون يعني في متناول ايديكم كلكم. يعني هحاول ان انا ابعتها لكم عن طريق الجوجل درايف او حاجه زي كده. المهم شابتر 1 طبعا التايتل بتاعته بتبين ايه اللي جواه. هو بيقول the components of an information system. الcomponents of an information system انا متعود في النوتس بتاعتي اني بدايه كل شابترز اكتب السيلبس بيقول ايه، بيتكلم عن ايه. فاسمحوا لي ان انا اتكلم باللغه الانجليزيه في الدقائق المتبقية. يعني هو طبعا السيلبس says that you should be able to define the hardware and giving examples about it, we define the software giving examples about the software also. Then we need to know the difference between the hardware and software. Also chapter 1 is talk about the components of the general purpose computers like central processing unit CPU, and the internal memory, main memory, its RAM and ROM, and input devices, the output device, the backing storage. All of these, it's just idea about each components, but all of this has a separate chapters. Yani input devices and output device chapter 2, and backing storage chapter 3. We have also, we will talking about the difference between the old operating system and the new operating system, the command line interface and graphical user interface. Then at the end of chapters we will talk about the types of computers, like the big computers and the medium computer, small computer, mainframe, supercomputer, mini computers, then personal computer, laptop, palm top, phone, mobile phone, smartphone, and PDA, tablet, and all of these types we will talk about it separately at the end of this chapters. Okay, this chapters started by the components of computer system. the components of computer system, all of the parts of computer system which make up a computer are hardware and software. And I think everybody here knows what I mean by hardware and software, but let me refresh your informations about the hardware and software. Hardware, something hard, okay, and you can see and touch, okay. Also in the computer we can say the hardware is the physical parts of the computer system, the parts that you can touch and see, like the input units, output units, processing unit, storage devices, and other items of the hardware. That is the hardware in the computer. Hardware is something you can touch and see, like keyboard, mouse, monitor, and also scanner, printer, microphone, and speakers. All of these parts is hard. We can touch it and we can see it, therefore it's called hardware. Okay, what about the other parts for the computer systems? The other parts of computer system is software. Okay, software is a program which tells the computer what to do. Without software, the computer is useless and nothing and has no meaning. Without hardware also is useless, has no meaning. And if I have hardware without software, what can I do by hardware without software, without programs, without set of instructions, give it to the computer to do what I want? Hardware and software should be together to contain the computer system. Again, I repeat it because that's maybe coming exam, that's coming June 2017 as fill in blanks. The parts of computer we can touch it and see, it's hardware, but the set of instruction which you give it to the computer to tell what I will do, it's called software. Or the program which tells the computer what to do, it's called software. Okay, then information system can be described in terms as input, storage, processing, output, and feedback. Data flow through an information system in these terms. Okay, again, the definitions of hardware is the physical parts of computer, and the definition of software, the programs that can be run on a computer. And I will give you examples about the hardware and software. Everybody knows the hardware like keyboard, mouse, and so on, and software, any application programs like Microsoft Word, Access, Excel, PowerPoint, Front, Photoshop, games, internet websites, and audios, videos, all of this, it's called software. And the programmer designed it for us to tell the computer what to do. If I want to see the difference between the hardware and software, hardware is the physical parts of computer, make it a computer system, or the make up the computer system. It's hardware is useless without software to run on it, and software is an instruction that tells the computer what to do, and useless unless there is hardware to run it on. Okay, for a computer system to be useful, it has to consist of both hardware and software. Okay, let me talk quickly about main computer components. If you look at shape now, you will see the 4 parts of the main computer components or main computer system. The main parts of computer system is 4: input units and output units, processing unit, storage device unit. We need to know each one separately to know what is the major job for each one. Okay, inputs. Inputs are the raw data that is fed into an information system. Raw data that is fed into an information system. The data is fed in via input peripherals or devices. Okay, what does that mean? Input data. Why I say input data or data? And why I say raw data? Okay, what I mean by raw data or raw value? Raw data or raw value, and something has no meaning or something has not complete meaning. Like for example, letters. Now when I input letter, like my name is Nasser, only 6 letters. Okay, when I input N alone, and A alone, S alone, S alone, E alone, all of this has no meaning. But when a computer processing This letters together and assembly together to give me name. It comes out as information. Output is information. That means we input data to computer. Computer processes the data to give us information. Data is a raw value. Raw value without processing, like the fish. The fresh fish. We cannot eat the fresh fish without cooking. When you cook that fish, you can eat it. It comes out as food. It's useful now. Okay, like the silver. Also, the silver is a raw value. When we formatting silver to become rings or something else, like gold, like anything else, like letters. When you formatting the letters to be font type, font size, font color, and so on, to come as inserting picture to come as a useful information. That means data is a raw value, have no meaning without. Data like what? Any facts, any figures. Data like letters, numbers, symbols, pictures, images, even an environment. Environment data is temperature, pressure, and light, sound. All of this, it's data. Data can be input to the computer, and computer can process the data. Yes. Okay, what is meant by processing? Processing is operation which convert the way to convert data, convert input into output. It's the way to convert data to information, input to output. Okay, what does that mean by output? Is something out from computer. That means output is it's data processing. Data plus processing equal information. When the examiner asks you about what's the information, I can say information is data processed or data plus processing. Okay, input data. Okay, we have different types of data. We have different types of data. Therefore, we have different types of input devices. And I have a keyboard to input letter numbers. I have a mouse to selecting, pointing, drawing, scrolling, clicking, double clicking. I have a microphone to input voice. I have OMR to input MCQ, exam paper. We have MICR. We have a sensor, temperature sensor, pressure sensor, water level sensor, and sound sensor, and so on. But I have different types of input devices because I have a different types of data entered to the computer. But if you look at the information, is the few numbers of devices used for output. Why? Because the output may be visual. We can use a monitors, okay, or can be hard copy. We can use a printout, or we can use as a sound. We can use a speakers. Yes, there are different kinds of monitor, different kinds of printers, different types of speakers, but only monitor and speakers and printers. We have also important part, it's the storage. All of this I'm talking about the main ideas about each one, but each part here has a separate chapters. We will talk separately about each part, and we will talk about all the devices for input and all the devices for output, and also we talk about what the main parts of the processing unit. Okay, storage. What I mean by storage device and why the computer has a storage device. Computer normally as a human has two storage devices. One is temporary and one is permanent. Temporary to keep the data for a short time, and if it loses, it contains when computer is switched off. And permanent, it keeps its contains when a computer is switched off. There is another storage outside the computer. It's called backing storage devices. Okay, we are talking about now main storage device. Main storage device is only two. One, it's volatile, it loses its contents, and one is non-volatile, it keeps its contents. The volatile one, it's called RAM, and the non-volatile called ROM. And also we have a separate chapters to talk about storage devices, all the storage device. Then what I want from chapter 1, I want only now to give you idea about the parts of computer system is for It's input to input data, and I told you what's the difference between data and output is information and information. And what's the processing? If processing is operation, it's the way to convert input to output, the way to convert data to information. Like for anything has ing at the end, it's processing. Like formatting, copying, deleting, pasting, even cooking, okay, and anything else, you can do it as processing. Okay, if I finished about what I said about input storage device, and I told you we have a temporary memory RAM and we have a long-term ROM. RAM is random access memory and ROM is read-only memory. We have a chapter 3. We will talk about the storage devices, and we will take more and more about RAM and ROM. But the same idea in chapter 1. Just know what is the difference between RAM and ROM. RAM is a random access memory and ROM is a read-only memory. RAM is a storage, is a memory, should be big, has a big capacity because it carry only the current use program. Yani all the current use program which run on the computer go to where? Go to RAM and keep where? In RAM. Therefore, RAM should be big, has a big capacity. When we want to buy computer, you have to ask about the RAM and the speed of processors, the capacity of RAM and the speed of it. If your RAM is small, that means your RAM it will be full and your computer stuck, or computer switch it off directly, or you cannot run many programs at the same time. Therefore, RAM keep all the program which running. Yani for example, you open Windows go to RAM. You open Microsoft Word, Access, Excel, PowerPoint, front, website, all of these, you open it, go to where? Go to RAM and keep it RAM until you turn off computer. Everything inside it will be lost. But ROM has only small program to run the computer. Therefore, read only memory. No one can delete it. No one can edit it. No one can move it or can update it, because it has only small program to operate the computer, to run the basic informations about computers. It therefore has only one program, is basic input output system. We will talk more about ROM. ROM also, the main job for ROM, it's only to run the basic components of computer and identify about the basic components of the computer, like input, output, and so on. Therefore, no one can delete it. No one can remove what's inside ROM. It's only for reading. Read only from processor, but cannot read too. Okay. If the difference between RAM and ROM, RAM is random access memory, can read and write from processor. Volatile, it loses its contents when computer switch it off, and also carries the current use programs. ROM, it's read-only memory, read only from processor, and non-volatile, it keeps its contents when computer switch it off, and carry only the basic input-output systems. Processing is a way for convert raw data into useful information. And I think everybody now knows what I mean by raw data. Raw data yani without processing. When you do searching, storing, drawing, copying, cutting, sorting, storing, all of this, that means you did processing on your data. Output is visual results, okay? It's information. And I told you sometimes you can use a visual results monitor or hard copy printers or voice by printers. The difference between data and information, I think everybody now knows what's the difference between them. Data means the raw values entered into, stored and processed by information. Information is produced as output and feedback with a context that gives it meaning. Okay. Before I give you data with the information system, I want to show you only small PowerPoint about the hardware and software. The hardware and software, we have here small PowerPoint, and this one I want from you to do it. Why? Because don't depend only about my notes or about my booklet. You have to do research. When I give you anything, just open the internet and search about what I give it to you. you can get more informations like pictures or images or more and more and more. After you get this information, you can put it as a PowerPoint. You can study from it easily after that as a summary for your work. Okay, then quickly we will go rapidly about the computer system, hardware and software. Okay, a computer system consists of two major elements, hardware and software. That's what I give it to you. Okay, then what's the hardware? Hardware, there are many different kinds of hardware that can be installed inside and connected to the outside of computer. Software, hardware include input, output devices, processing unit, and storage devices. Okay, what's else? Software. The second part of computer system, software. Software is a program that enables a computer to perform specific tasks. Include application software and operating system, and all of this we are talking about it. Just I show you the presentation to know how to design presentation and how to help yourself in home when you research about more information. Computer system does not work unless it include. Remember well, that's what I said. Computer system does not work unless it include both hardware and software, and put lines under underline why, because it's very important to understand this point. Okay, then the 4 points, the 4 components of computer system: input, output, storage, processing. We talked already about every one separately. Input is any data that is sent to a computer for processing. Input sent to a computer using an input devices. Output is information that has been processed by and sent out from a computer. Output is sent out to an output device. Okay, data storage. If you remember, talk about computer storage is any hardware capable of holding information either temporarily or permanently. It stores application software, operating system, and data files. It consists of 2 integrated chips called ROM and RAM. We can also do comparison between them. ROM and RAM, read-only memory, random access memory. ROM data is stored permanently. Data cannot be altered in only read. Data is not lost when computer turns off, non-volatile memory. But RAM data is stored temporary, and data can be edited, and RAM is larger than ROM. All programs in data being used are on RAM. The last one, contents are lost when computer turns off, means volatile memory. Okay, we go quickly about processing. Processing is when a software program extracts raw data from data being received or stored and convert it into useful information. That is what I said. I told you the processing is a way which you convert data into informations, okay, to be useful and has a meaning or complete meaning. Data within information system, I will stop for break and then we will complete later, inshallah.